Welcome back to the 3x5 Live
podcast.
On this podcast, we talk about mindset, mindfulness, productivity, everything self-development. How you doing, Jessie?
I'm doing great, Bri.
You're such a liar.
Living the dream.
So this week, we are talking about, we heard a quote in church last week by an author I really like, John Maxwell. And the quote is, that the minister said, everything that is worthwhile in life is uphill. And I don't know, we both looked at each other in church and we're like, oh man, I really like that. Mm-hmm. So more simply put, everything worthwhile is uphill. So everything that has value, everything that, requires work or is purposeful is uphill. And we have to put in the effort, just like in anything in life. If we want to have a good marriage, a good partnership, we want to succeed in our career, we want to play a musical instrument, we want to achieve that goal, we have to realize that we have to put that one foot in front of the other to achieve that.
It reminds me of that quote, like, nothing that is good in life comes easy and very little that comes easy is good.
Yes.
It's like that reminder of the struggle and like the beauty in the struggle and that uphill battle to get to that, summit.
Yes. Yeah.
I couldn't think of the word.
Top of the hill.
Yeah. Thinking of the summit. I think about even in like hiking, we work so hard to get to the top. And why do we work so hard to get to the top? Because the beauty of that summit is worth all of the effort that you put in to get there.
Right. Exactly. And I recently was talking to a friend and he was telling me about this guy in his early mid-20s, recently married. He has a father and a stepfather, and his father bought them a $500,000 house and he's making them pay like 20% of the mortgage. And then his stepfather gifted this kid, 10% of his company, and he's about to sell it for a very large amount of money. And I actually felt bad for this kid. I keep calling him a kid, but this guy in his early mid-20s, because what his father and stepfather did is they took away his hill. Mm-hmm. They took away the growth that he's going to experience by trying, to obtain difficult things day by day, step by step. So if he has struggles in his marriage, his young marriage, like, he's not going to have the tools potentially to overcome those things. And the opposite is true. There's a story of Van Gogh, and as it's told, that he's sitting there sketching in a park, and this woman comes up to him and is just like, wow, these are beautiful sketches. I've always wanted a portrait. Can you sketch a portrait of me? So she sat down, and 15 minutes later, he had this beautiful charcoal rendering of her. And I don't know what the equivalent dollar amount is, but he asked for some exorbitant amount of money for this charcoal sketch of her. And she said, what are you talking about? That took you 15 minutes. And he replied, no, that took a lifetime. He understood that he didn't wake up one day, roll out of bed, and become successful and be able to paint and sketch like he could. Every day was his step up his mountain, up his hill.
Mm-hmm. And I think this goes to say, this brings up two things for me. The first is, why do you think, I feel like too many people just stand at that bottom of the hill and they just look up at it, and the reasons behind why don't we climb the hill? Are we scared that we're going to fail? Are we scared that it's going to be hard? Do we believe that we can't get to the top and are embarrassed by the fact that we can't actually get there to achieve what we want to achieve? And maybe that brings in some shame feelings, or is it our negative self-talk, or is it that maybe we haven't been exposed, like you just said, to many hills? And then the other lens I was thinking about is from a parent. Bryan, I've recently been talking as our kids are getting older about not forcing them, but creating more opportunities for them to have productive struggle, because we find, especially through the homeschooling lens, I have always been here and I am very quick to help them solve their problems. Just today, they wanted to bring up a play kitchen from when they were kids from the shed outside, and it was cold and windy and it was heavy and it had dishes in it. And Bryan was like, let them carry it up if they want it in the house. And I watched out the window as there were tears and they were fighting and the dishes kept flying out of the
and I was smiling the whole time.
And Bryan's smiling and laughing at them. And it was actually hard for me not to go out and say, hey guys, take the dishes out and then carry it up. It'll be lighter and it won't keep flying out. But that ability for them to go through that struggle. So thinking about those hills, allowing our children the opportunity to climb their own hills, identify their own hills and climb their own hills without that quickness to just jump in and do it for them. So
I love how you always bring it back to the kids.
I mean, that's because they're my people. That's my life.
So we really have to believe in the notion that everything that is worthwhile is uphill. And once we believe that, then it's almost your obligation to put one foot in front of the other to achieve it and get to that first top. And what that's going to do is it's going to, like the kids carrying the playset up the hill, like they gained a little confidence, a little competence, so that the next hill that they climb, they're going to have a little more self-belief and self-love to climb that hill.
Mm-hmm.
And
the belief that they can climb a bigger one.
That's
like
yes.
the train track analogy that you use all the time in your brain. Like when you achieve your train track and you lay your train track down, the more you do something, the more the train track is going to be laid. So those small, tiny hills, which seem small, will compound and build to a bigger success over time. The compounding of success, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean hijack your thoughts.
No, I was just going to say, and then we also witness like successful people that we respect, and they look like they have it made, and it's just like, why wouldn't they coast?
Well, because you usually see them and respect them when they're at the top of the hill.
That's true. But yes, they're at the top of the hill, but at that point they have financially, they're set. So why do they continue to go to I gave it away. Why do they continue to climb the next hill? It's because they've realized the secret sauce of growing and stretching and how that fulfills them as a person. And as one of the very popular books from last year, probably top 10 book, was Arnold Schwarzenegger's book of Be Useful. They understand that being useful gives you meaning and purpose in life. Mm-hmm. So they want to continue to climb that next hill.
And not just coast.
So it's almost like the hills never end in a purposeful life. And knowing that and realizing that is just going to make you more mindful and enjoy that journey and enjoy that struggle up whatever hill you're currently climbing.
And thinking about what are those hills before you that maybe you've been resistant to climb or hesitant to climb, or just put one foot in front of the other and start that climb.
And climb that hill. All right. That was the episode this week. We hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time.
Take care. See ya.
Bye.
We are all